Hi guys, Matthew with Parkway Business Solutions. And we recently did a different video where we demonstrated how you can use estimates and progress invoicing to basically bring in a deposit or a retainer inside of QuickBooks Online Projects. Now, if you're not looking to use progress invoicing, but you still need to document that deposit into a project, there's another way that you can go about this, which really involves creating like a product or a service. So in this video, we're going to demonstrate how you can create that product and service and how to document through an invoice to take in retainers or deposits on projects. To get started, the first thing we're going to need to do is we're going to dive in and create the different product or services. And as you can see from my screen, we've basically set up, I like to do two different ones. I like to do a retainer received and a retainer used. They're both going to point to the exact same place, but it makes it really nice if you decide to run a report like a sales by product. You can actually see how much money came in versus how much went out, and matching them up, I find it makes it a little bit easier. The most important part of it, of course, is so we create it, non-inventory item. I put a description in, and then the income account that we're actually hitting to is going to actually be, I'm calling it customer retainers, and it's an other current liability. So again, they're going to give you the money ahead of time. You're going to owe them something, so we're creating that current liability. Once that's set up, we'll go save and close. And then from here, what you could do is one of two things. You can go into the project and either create a sales receipt. That would be if maybe the person's right in front of you and you don't need to send them an electronic invoice for them to pay. You could do the sales receipt, run the payment, and be done in one step. Or the alternative is to do an invoice instead. So we'll go into our projects, and we're doing this under our fake customer B. And I always like to tell everybody this is fake data, so if certain things don't line up or look exactly correct, it's because it's fake data. Under customer B, I've already created this where I will come into my project. I'm going to go into my transactions here, and I'm going to go down to this bottom invoice that I set up. I created the invoice to give us the ability to receive a payment against it online, yet still get this retainer received here. So we've got the customer, project is set up onto it. If we had fields, that all would be filled in as well. We basically set this up for $1,000, saved it, and then we did one payment to receive that payment. At this point, if we were to come in now and let's pull up a balance sheet for today, what we would see is on the balance sheet, we're going to have this account down here for customer retainers of $1,000. Okay. So now if we go back to the project though, now we need to find a way to basically spend it. So if we were to take under project B, we'll go create a new invoice. Now we're saying that we've got maybe billable expenses that we want to tie into this. It's going into the new construction here as well still, as you can see. So let's pretend we're selling them again a toilet and a bathroom vanity. And we'll put some hourly onto this. But now we need to actually reflect the fact they've already given us a retainer. So now we can go retainer used, put this in, we would go 1 minus 1,000. And doing it this way is better. Keeping the quantity positive and the rate or the amount negative is actually a better way to go about it. Now that you've got all this information in, the one thing I would have done that I would have liked a little bit different is I actually would click above this and I'd go add subtotal. I want to have the subtotal above where my retainer used is. It just visually tells a better story for your client so they can see what's happening there. So now when I click and we've got it on the same date, we'll go save on this thing. Now let's go back to our balance sheet again and refresh this. It's doing some thinking here. Now when we come in, customer retainers have gone back to 0. So we've actually spent that retainer. If we come into our project, so we still have this sitting as open. Come into the project, we can see, let's go to a project report, go profitability report here. And we can go to today. So our amounts, if we click into this, none of the retainer portion of that is inside of any of this whatsoever. So again, it's washing it in and out. It's all within the project. It did not impact the project profitability, but it gave you a way to document the fact that you did receive some money that could then be used. The reason we don't like to use it this way is it requires you to continue to reconcile this type of an account to keep an eye on it. So that is one area of concern. You could actually turn it into like a fake bank and then have it as something that you just reconcile through the reconcile module every single month as well. So I hope this helped a little bit more, showed you another way that you'd be able to bring in those deposits or retainers against a project. And as always, here's wishing you all a very successful week.